So Canada's an easy one to get to. They're direct flights, um, and it's one of our most like. It's a very active tour. It's a very it's very fun, especially for families and couples and things like that. This one's an easy one for us.
Yes, and I do have other options for people who maybe want to take it a little easier and just do a train trip. We do Rocky Mountaineer. We do all sorts of tours in this area, as well as Charlie. So part of my job is to figure out what is best for you to do the kind of trip that you want to do. So today we're going to talk Charlie's trips, and he does have these amazing value-packed highlight trips that just put in as many activities as you could possibly think that you can do in these areas, and one of the reasons why he's such a great tour provider. So one thing I did want to mention about going to Canada, which some people in America don't know, is if you have any felony convictions, that includes DUIs, you're not allowed to go to Canada. So this is sometimes an issue for people. There is a form you can fill out to request a waiver. But if you have had any felonies in your past, doesn't matter when, they don't let you go into Canada.
The first person I would suspect is you.
I do not have any DUIs.
I mean,
I just said how I tell all the truth, always.
I think you're talking not from written knowledge, but personal experience. I think
So not true. I do not have any felonies. I have never been in jail. I swear.
I thought I saw a poster of you at the post office. She sure looked like you, but I could be wrong.
No, not me. No, no.
Oh boy! So this tour that we have is a 10-day tour to Canada. You have to first fly into Edmonton, and it's the city itself is not as fun as, let's say, Vancouver or something like this. But it's through Edmonton that we get you to your first destination, which is Jasper National Park.
Beautiful.
That's how that whole thing works.
Oh, what about time of year? So this is a wintry area. They have skiing. So what time of year do you like to have people come to this tour?
Well, I know for Canada, you operate year-round, but specifically for Canada, we do it late May through September. So if somebody needs something else for skiing and stuff like that, that's very much purely you.
Okay.
But when they want like the summer experience where you're going on these hydrofoils and helicopters and zip lining and whitewater rafting and going on these 4x4s and all this kind of stuff and going through canyon, that's the one that we do. So unlike many of our other tours that are year-round, this one is very much seasonal, and that is because just a lot of the stuff is shut down outside of the summer season. Like, so a lot of the gondola rides and all these things that we take you to, they're just not open in the wintertime. So it's not that another company does it and we're not. Nobody's doing it.
Right. I mean, they do have ski vacations during this time period. Banff
Yeah.
is fabulous for skiing, but yeah, it's totally different kind. It's similar to Alaska in temperature. So Alaska too, you want to go summer, May and September are really shoulder seasons, but you want to go when it's warm.
Exactly. Especially if you want to be doing these type of activities that are very popular. They're just seasonal activities. So the one thing that we ask is that on that day one, people get to the airport by no later than 2 p.m.
Okay.
There's a 3 or 4 hour transfer that we have to do from the Edmonton airport to Jasper National Park. There's no airport at Jasper Park. So that is the one and only transfer a day. Of course, we can do it private, but in a rich country like Canada, 4-hour private transfer can get a little bit costly. So people like to save that money, and we just ask them to get there before 2 o'clock so we can do the shuttle. For people who just can't do it for logistical reasons, what we end up doing is having that day of arrival as a pre-tour day. We just pick them up, take them to a hotel in the city. The following morning, we then transfer them by shuttle to Jasper National Park, and that becomes the first day of this tour.
And sometimes I would start somebody in Vancouver, maybe British Columbia, and have them do a day there and then go hop over to Edmonton. It would be an easier hop that way. But we can do it.
You know best, girl. But yeah. So basically, that day, as long as you get in before 2 o'clock, we've now transferred you by that shuttle to Jasper National Park. That is one of the most popular national parks in Western Canada. You're going to see lots of wildlife and these majestic peaks and all this kind of stuff over there. It's a fun place.
Mhm.
The second day that you're there, you make a day trip, and we take you to these canyons and lakes, and we do this really beautiful boat cruise from one lake to another island type of thing.
Mm.
And you see like these waterfalls, and there's these birds and plant life, and all this kind of. You're going to see like the bears and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's a very pleasant day with boat rides and canyons and lakes and all this kind of stuff. So it's a nice way to start your trip to Canada.
I think that was the first place I saw a moose ever in person.
Really?
Isn't that moose there?
Well, yeah. You know, I mean,
Okay.
that's kind of
I
their
just want to
natural.
make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. So one thing that's just, I definitely discourage you over there is people will see bears. And I saw this one tourist, he was getting so close to the bears
Mm.
and like taking a photo. Like, man, you can get this on Google for free. You know what I mean? Like at least if you're going to risk your life, at least do a selfie or something. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
You know what I mean? But like, don't just take a
Yeah.
photo of the bear. Like you're getting something that you can't find on Google. So, but the reality of it is, don't go anywhere near it.
No.
Um,
Bears are dangerous. Yeah. Don't do that.
yes, very true.
Mhm.
The third day, what we do is we leave Jasper and now we head to Banff. However, this is not just a straight transfer. This is one of the prettiest scenic drives I've ever seen in the 98 countries that I've traveled to extensively. I've said this in a previous show. Vietnam was one of the other ones,
Mhm.
and Corsica
Hmm.
was the other one. This one is a huge deal. There's a lot of stops along the way. There's these
Mm.
different waterfalls. There's this ice field where you're actually riding on a glacier. There's this like this monster bus type of thing. I can't really describe it. You need to
Mm.
kind of see photos of it. The only other place in the world where they have those like monster buses for the glacier is in Antarctica.
Oh, we didn't
Yeah,
have any buses in Antarctica. There was no motor vehicles.
it's a no. There is a place over there where it's a
Mm.
bus made just for um,
Glaciers.
just for the glacier. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's the only place that you can find those things. But
Crazy.
yeah, you're going actually riding. It's these big red stretched out ones,
Mm.
um, and you see other waterfalls and lakes and other glaciers and that kind of stuff. But you're not going to forget this day. It's one of the best days on this 10-day tour package. They're
Are
all
you
good, but that one's one of the best.
are you on a bus doing that
This
portion?
one this one you're on a bus.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, on pretty much almost all of this tour, you're with other travelers. You're not
Mm.
with the same people every day. You have different faces and personalities and tour guides, but for almost all of this tour,
Mhm.
you're going to meet other travelers.
And that is one of the things I explain on all of our episodes is that your tours, you can start any day of the week that you want, any day of the year. And then we coordinate what activities you do every day, your own itinerary. So even though you're getting the value of a group tour, you're not strict. You're not with the same people every day doing the exact same thing every day. You might be with a totally different group on Monday that you'll be with on Tuesday. Maybe you'll be on private on Wednesday. We mix it up for you. And Charlie has it down to a science. So he makes sure that you get the best possible combination.
Indeed, indeed. So at the end of that third day, you're in Banff. Banff is one of the two most popular resort towns in all of Canada.
Hmm.
And it's an expensive place. There's no doubt about that one. I think if somebody wants to make easy money, I would say open up a hotel in Banff. There's just not a lot of them that are like centrally located in 5 stars. We put you in them, but
Mm.
that particular destination is on the pricier end. But that one and Whistler are two of the best known resorts in all of Western Canada. So on the fourth day, what we do is we make a day trip from Banff. So we first head to Canmore. You're taken in a private car to Canmore, and you go on a helicopter flight seeing tour. And the mountain scenery is like it's really incredible. It's and they go very close to these mountains and this kind of stuff. So you're gonna love that. And then once you're done with that, we pick you up. We go back to Banff, and then we go to this place called Johnson Canyon. And you're gonna walk through this whole like these canyon. It's got like these bridges and stuff like that over there.
Mm.
You're gonna see waterfalls and tunnels and natural pools and all this kind of stuff. It's fun. I mean, you feel the thunder of the falls. You see it, just the whole experience of it. It's a nice way to like end your day. And then after you're done with that, you go back to Banff, and the resort town itself is fun. So after people have had their fun all day long, they get back to town and they're all talking about what they did, and they're at the sports bars and everything else over there. So,
And you'll find, I think, in every cold destination, people really like to go out and party at night. That it's just that kind of, it's a different kind of culture in Alaska and Canada and places that are cold. They like the warmth of being together.
they like beer and burgers. I can tell you that one. They love beers and burgers over there.
And salmon.
And salmon. On the fifth day, you're making another day trip from Banff. There's a place called Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. Yeah. So that one, when you just put like Western Canada, you just go to Google, there's certain photos that are like iconic of that part of the world. These two lakes, Louise and Moraine Lake, this is often what pops up on Google searches. On one part, you go on this boat cruise. It's really nice. But what you're seeing there is just it's like postcard perfect type of setting in both of those places. And then once you're done with that one, we take you on a boat ride. And then after that, we take you on a gondola ride to the viewpoint above Banff over there. And you just see this beautiful view. And then you've got this like little skywalk and stuff like that. So as I'm kind of describing day to day to you, you can see these days are very active, and you're constantly seeing new things, new landmarks, new natural attractions, all of that. You don't get bored.
And the weather isn't like summer hot weather, right?
No, I would say like, especially when you get June, July, August, it gets like 75. It's really nice. I mean, of course, when you get higher up, it's going to get a little bit colder, right? Just you're higher up there, especially when you're taking into the snow and all that. But I mean, it's generally really pleasant months to be over there.
Yeah, I think, and layers is your friend. So just wear layers, because sometimes of the day when the sun's out, you're going to want to take off the heavy stuff. And then when it gets a little cooler, you're higher, you want to put on your jacket or whatever.
So now what was that? That was day 5. That was day 5. Yeah. So day 6 here, we basically relocate from Banff to Whistler. So from Banff, you're taken via a 1 hour and I think 15-minute shuttle ride to the Calgary airport. Then we fly you to Vancouver. Unfortunately, there's no airports in Whistler itself. So Vancouver, we pick you up at the airport. You go straight to to Whistler. That's a 2-hour drive to get over there. You get to the hotel, and then we go straight to it. This time you're going on a seaplane ride. So earlier you're going on helicopter, right? Now you're going on the seaplane. And it's a beautiful view over Whistler area. It's really nice over there. My father absolutely loved that when I took him on it. Then you return to town, and you check out the Whistler Village itself. Like Banff, it's very cute. People love just walking around and that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the day, we kind of encourage people to go independently to this ice bar.
Ah,
I took my father over there too, but it's really cool. They make the whole thing look like a bar, but it's just made out of ice, and they've got all kinds of drinks like that. And right next to it, there's a very nice restaurant with music and all of that. So it's a really nice way to end your day.
so I've been to ice bars before, but in Scandinavia. So they give you things to wear to keep you warm inside.
Mhm.
Do they do that at this one too?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you don't show up in a bikini or something. Yeah, you're fully clothed because it is cold in there. So they give you the jacket. It's like usually all
Hmm.
white and stuff like that. And they allow you to do filming inside there. Um,
Hmm.
so the bar top and everything, it looks like an actual bar just made out of ice. And they've got a big variety of drinks that you can try over there.
Very cool. I mean, these are like Instagrammable moments. These these types of I don't know, tourist attractions.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, indeed they are. So you kind of see how we go from like very fun to elegant, and kind of like balance the day out a bit. Um, Now day 7, we make an excursion from Whistler. The first one we do is off-roading.
Mm.
And that one, I'm never forgetting. My dad was yelling at me because he was in pain. He says, "Charlie, is this going to be that bad?" I said, "No, it's not going to be bad." And it's not bad if you don't need surgery, you're fine. But if you need surgery, don't be doing off-roading beforehand. Um,
So
but
this is a really rocky one where you're bouncing.
Yeah, you are. But I mean, you're in a very good vehicle here. This is not some cheap
Mm.
little thing. It's a very nice vehicle. Um, but what happens from there is it's very scenic. So you're not off-roading for the sake of just off-roading. You're off-roading because you're taking to very pretty places with these gorgeous viewpoints. That's the
Mm.
point of it. You're just using that vehicle to explore the landscape, right?
Yeah.
Um, After the off-roading, we take you whitewater rafting. That's very popular over there.
Mm.
And after that, if that's not enough for you, okay, we take you zip lining. Okay. So
Mm.
you're doing 3 big activities all in one day.
So is the whitewater rafting like freezing river?
No, I mean, the idea is not to fall in.
I fell in the last time I went. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I mean, you're in Canada, right? So it is a bit colder, but the weather outside is good. So
Mm.
just as long as you're not, but I think anywhere, even if you're in like warmer countries, when you go into rivers, I mean, even in Turkey, when you go into the
Yeah.
actual rivers and stuff, you fall in there. It doesn't feel like the Bahamas. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean?
But your adrenaline is rushing so much, at least mine was when it happened. I just went whooshing like totally down the river. Like you don't even feel it because you're just like traveling until they save you. But I mean, it's super fun. I love whitewater rafting, but it was a little scary experience when you fall in.
So try not to. That's
I
the whole
try
point.
not to. Exactly. That's my advice.
Did anybody try to save you?
Yeah, they had like kayakers around the raft. And so the kayaker was like rushing after me, but I was going full speed down the river. The rapids were just taking me. So he finally got me and pulled me back all the way to the raft.
So do as we say, not as we do.
Always. That's always my advice.
So on the 8th day, we now relocate to Vancouver. But before we do
Mm,
that, before we relocate to Vancouver, we go on this peak to peak gondola.
mm.
My father, that was for him one of like the most fun things he's ever done. And he loved it so much, I was actually not even allowed to talk to him on that
Aw.
day. Like he was recording the whole thing, and he told me he was in such a state of bliss. He told me no talking. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
was like,
want to engulf yourself in the moment.
I wasn't allowed to talk to him. I remember that very well. Um, but it was, I mean, because you're taking this gondola, right? And then after gondola, you go on the ski lift.
Mm.
But the landscape on this thing was just like, my God. I mean, it was like something you'd see in a movie or something. I mean, this is not just like a normal like ski lift type of thing where you're just trying to get off the thing so you go, you know, down the slope or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a tour type of thing. It was really beautiful. And then once you get to where it ends, you're on one of the longest free span bridges in the world right there. And it's gorgeous. I mean, it is a long bridge, and you just wonder how people can walk on this thing. The engineering of it is just insane.
Were they bungee jumping from it?
No. This one is just for, I mean, you could give it a try. Let me know how it worked out. But, I mean, you know, but for the rest of everybody else, I'm going to say no. Let's not go there.
So how high are we talking? Like if people who are afraid of heights, are they going to have issues there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I mean, this thing is like high up and built like a horse, and just long and with gorgeous views. I mean, as long as it's not foggy. When it gets foggy, then, you know, kind of disappoints a little bit. But as long as you got clear views on that day, I mean, it is just a sight. Definitely one of the most amazing projects that they've done in Canada. I just it's over 400 feet, the suspension bridge, that thing. So it's a big deal. Yeah. So now after seeing that, we take you by shuttle to Vancouver. You're taken to your hotel. We use almost always 5-star hotels throughout the whole tour. After you've checked into your hotel, we take you to this other suspension bridge. It's the most famous one in Vancouver. It's called Capilano. That's what that is.
That is not a Canadian accent.
Huh?
You did not use a Canadian accent for that. That was your Greek accent.
Oh yeah, well, the about and the out and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's a very popular place. You're going to see other travelers there for sure. I think it gets over 1 million visitors a year, just that suspension bridge itself in Vancouver. That's how popular this thing is. And then after that, you know, in the evening, you head to downtown Vancouver. There's an area called Gastown. And like you'd imagine in the United States, or wherever, there's just a bunch of restaurants and shops and bars and, you know, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Vancouver's a big city. We do a lot of pre and post there for cruises because you've got a big cruise port there. Great lifting off point for Alaska. So Vancouver is great. They have a great aquarium. I was once there when the company bought out the aquarium and put sushi throughout the aquarium and live music, and it was awesome. But so Vancouver is a beautiful city, big, beautiful city.
Very, very clean and safe and all of that. Yeah. On the 9th day, before making a day trip, we take you to this public market. It's the most famous market over there. It's on Granville Island. And it's kind of what you imagine. They have similar stuff in like Seattle, for example. But, you know, you're going to have like different types and sizes of fish and other kind of, it's like a farmer's market type of thing. That's essentially what that is. And then after that, we take you on another hydrofoil seaplane tour. And this thing goes to a place called Tofino. Tofino has these fjords. And so you got one hydrofoil that takes you to the destination. And then after that, we get you on another hydrofoil and you're doing a tour through these fjords. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Especially on a clear day, you could see whales, the mountains themselves. And if it's open, we take you to this place where there's like a natural pool as well. So that is a fun way to spend your day. People who have more time than this, they often ask to have some additional days in Tofino because it's a family destination as well. A lot of times people like to go there for like 3-4 days just to kind of relax. But in the one day, we really try to pack in the highlights, and you see it best by this flight seeing tour.
So places like this are similar to going to Norway, to the fjords, Alaska. Like all of these cold destinations are similar. Canada's right here, so easy to get a similar landscape.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think especially for families that don't want to go too far and they want to do fun stuff with their kids, especially you got like 15-year-old stuff like that. You want to do something like the whole family is having a good time and not just mom and dad. This is the kind of tour for you. We're like, everybody's going to be happy with you type of thing. And then that's what we do on the 9th day, unless people want to stay longer. And if we do, they can just add to the duration of this tour. It's very easy for us to customize it like that. And then after that, from Vancouver, they fly home.
All right, that sounds like an action-packed Canada itinerary. And of course, we can always add in other places, British Columbia, Victoria, Seattle, if you want to go down to Seattle, or Alaska even, go to Alaska from here. But how much is that tour?
Okay, let me get on the website.
I know, I always jump you when I ask that question.
That one and asking me about movie sets and
right. Well, yes, Canada is a great place for movie sets too. There's a ton of things that were filmed there, but I'm not going to ask you.
I have to get on my website now to see what this costs. That one I didn't have it.
So while you do that, let me just say, hey, I'm Lainey Melnick. I'm owner of Dream Vacations, Lainey Melnick and Associates in the Westlake Hills area of Austin, Texas. And I'm here with Charlie the Traveler, one of my fabulous supplier partners. And we do Travel Talk Tuesday because we love talking destinations and we want to teach you all there is to know about different areas of the world that you can go travel to and how you can get a fabulous vacation by booking with us. And this one, for instance, is only...
this one with Canada per person based on 2 people per room, $4,428. And that includes all the entry fees, all these activities we've been talking about, the tour guides, the water transportation, the ground transportation. It's very packed. That's essentially what we do double what we do in 10 days. Other companies don't do at all, but if they try to, they're going to do it in double the time for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And I do, as I said earlier, I book Rocky Mountaineer like train tours and things. And those are more expensive than what you'd be getting with Charlie. And they basically go to the same places, do the 5-star amazing resorts. But it's kind of a different way to do it when you're doing the train versus doing a tour like this with Charlie.
Yeah, I think part of my philosophy is like any country that I go to, it's not like, for me, it's like, okay, I only want this or I only want that. I've always wanted to know what's the best this country has to offer, or what's the best in a place like Canada. I mean, because it's so big, what's this region, British Columbia, for example, and whatever. What's the best it has to offer, and you go there, and I do 3 times more than what I put on the itineraries because I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important. But at the end of the day, I find exactly what the best it has to offer, and we pack it in there.
Yeah.
And that's how you have, what is it? There was 2 seaplane tours. There's a helicopter ride. There's the zip lining. There's the off-roading. There's the whitewater rafting. There's the canyon. It's packed. It's packed.
Yes. And for people who like all-inclusive vacations, this is the way to do it. You don't have every meal included, but you have a lot. You have breakfast included. Sometimes there are meals depending on the activities of the day, but it's a lot more inclusive than other ways to travel, especially if you're trying to do it independently.
Yeah, it is hard to do it independently. So you did mention earlier that we operate in 30 countries. A lot of the countries where we operate, we do it the way we do because the country's not particularly organized, and it's kind of hard to figure that out. They're less developed, you know what I mean? You want to feel safe. You're with like government licensed English speaking tour guides. Canada obviously doesn't fit that bill. So the reason why we're in a country like Canada is the transportation, it's not all that impressive. So it's not like you can just use the buses and trains and all this kind of stuff and just get to where you want to go. And there is a lot to see. And these tours have, fixed departure times, these activities, right? A lot of the stuff that I told you,
Yeah.
you can't just show up there and say, hey, I'm next, right? These helicopter rides, the seaplane tours, even the off-road, they've got very specific times and it changes from month to month. So for somebody to sit there and say, okay, well, I finally found all the important things to see over here, to actually coordinate that stuff and figure out when everybody is like actually running this stuff,
Hmm.
it's very, very technical. And it took me a couple hundred hours
Mm.
to actually master that whole thing. So that was where the opportunity is for me. If it was such an easy place to do it, I wouldn't be there because you could just do it yourself. But because it's more
Right.
technical, someone like yourself and us together, we're able to make it easy. So somebody, they're not going to really know all the work on the back end. They're just having fun, like when you get on a roller coaster, you
Right,
know?
exactly. It makes it a stress-free experience for all of you to book through us. But there are other places in Canada that are fabulous. The other side of Canada, Quebec, which I love because it's French, of course, Canadian French, French Canadian. But great food there. I love the fries with the gravy on it. I can never remember what they're called, but really delicious food. And then there's the polar bears and the belugas on the other side. But there's just so much in the country, and Charlie manages, as he said, the areas that is a little more complicated, that is harder for you just to fly into a great big city. And sending love to everyone from Greece, straight from sunny Santorini. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. It's one of your Greek friends.
From Santorini.
Charlie's Greek. He was born in Greece.
I was born here, but when I was 18,
Oh,
I spent 7 months over there, and then I kind of moved to Spain and later Germany. Uh, that's how that whole thing worked. With Canada, before you start the tour, we provide you what's called an itinerary letter. And that will just tell you every day, please be in the lobby at this time. So-and-so should be there ready for you. We ask you to bring A, B, and C. We're taking you to 1, 2, and 3. Lunches at this time. We get you back at that time. You have the rest of the evening to yourself, type of thing. So you don't really have to think all that much. It's pretty much just laid out there for you, which is very simple instructions in terms of what time to be in the lobby and what to bring with you for the day. And that's it. After that, it's all on us to make sure that your fantasy trip becomes a reality.
and we do offer an app and an online itinerary. We take all of that detail from Charlie and we create something for you to have on your iPhone or your Android, whatever you have to have with you at all times so that you can always see where you're supposed to be and where you should be or where you're going. But you don't need to worry because you are being handheld through this entire experience.
Indeed. So it's close enough to home. So I mean, unsurprisingly, it's the country is not as cheap as if you're flying across to Southeast Asia or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
it's going to be similar, like what you'd imagine in the United States. It's the same prices, except
Hmm.
for Banff. That one's even more expensive. But the fact that it's so close and it's safe and familiar and all this kind of stuff, um, people
Yeah.
generally like it, and especially um, family and friends that just want to do a bunch of crazy, fun, active stuff. So